Welcome student to part 2 of chapter excretion of the waste products. In this video, we will learn urine formation, the physiology of kidney. Process of urine formation includes glomerular filtration, reabsorption, and then tubular secretion. Let's begin with the glomerular filtration. Glomerular capillary blood pressure causes the filtration of blood through three layers. One is endothelium, epithelium, and basement membrane. Endothelium is of glomerular blood vessels. Epithelium is of Bowman's capsule, and basement membrane is between these two layers. First, the epithelial cells, which are also known as podocytes of the Bowman's capsules, are arranged in an intricate manner leaving some minute spaces, and those spaces are known as filtration slit or slit pores. Here you can see the podocytes of the Bowman's capsules that are arranged in such a way that it leads to the formation of filtration slit, that is slit pores. Almost all constituents of the blood plasma except the proteins pass into the lumen of Bowman's capsule. About 1100 to 1200 ml of blood is filtered by kidney per minute. So it constitutes 1/5 of the blood pumped out by each ventricle of the heart in a minute. The amount of glomerular filtrate formed per minute is glomerular filtration rate, which is GFR. The normal GFR is 125 ml per minute, that is 180 liters per day. The second step of urine formation is reabsorption. The 180 liters of glomerular filtrate is produced daily, but out of that only 99% of this is reabsorbed by renal tubules. So normal volume of the urine released is 1.5 liters per day. From the filtrate, glucose, amino acids, sodium ion, etc. are reabsorbed actively, and nitrogenous waste are absorbed passively. The passive reabsorption of water occurs in the initial segments of the nephron. Here you can see the capillaries, glomerulars, where the selective reabsorption of sodium, amino acids, glucose are reabsorbed from filtrate back into the blood. PCT, which is proximal convoluted tubule, reabsorb most of the nutrients, and around 70 to 80% of electrolytes and water. Simple cuboidal brush border epithelium of PCT increases the surface area for reabsorption. Then comes the loop of Henle, which maintains high osmolarity of medullary interstitial fluid. The descending limb of Henle's loop is permeable to water, but it is almost impermeable to electrolytes. So this will cause filtrate to be more concentrated. In ascending limb, minimum reabsorption occurs because it is impermeable to water, but it allows transport of electrolytes. So filtrates get diluted here. In BCT, conditional reabsorption of sodium and water takes place, and collecting duct extend from the cortex to the inner part of medulla. It reabsorbs large amount of water to concentrate urine. It also allows passage of small amount of urea into the medullary intestinium so that to keep up the osmolarity of a body. The third step of urine formation is tubular secretion. Cells of PCT and DCT will maintain ions, that is sodium and potassium balance, and acid-base balance, that is pH of the body fluids, by selective secretion of hydrogen ions, potassium ions, and ammonia into the filtrate and absorption of HCO3 from it. Collecting duct maintain pH, and also it helps in ionic balance of blood by secretion of hydrogen ions and potassium ions. Here again, the urine formation at the glands. we can see over here that in the glomerulus, all the substances are reabsorbed. That filtrate moves to the PCT where solutes and waters are reabsorbed. Then that filtrate passes to the descending limb where water is reabsorbed. It passes from the ascending where certain, that is variable reabsorption of ion solutes will take place because this is impermeable to water. Finally, it moves to the collecting duct. Thanks for watching.